He is right. This country has a deficit. Would be right if he said that going to war in Iraq and Afghanistan has cost us trillions of dollars, which is one of the reasons we have the deficit we have today. But I believe from the bottom of my heart, Madam President, that if we go to war, if we spend trillions of dollars on that war, that when our men and women come home from war, some wounded in body, some wounded in spirit, I don't want to hear people telling me it's too expensive to take care of those wounded veterans. I don't accept that. If you think it's too expensive to take care of veterans, don't send them to war.
And we know now that government by organized money is just as dangerous as government by organized mob.
Does any of this matter to you? Do you give one whit of concern to the middle class and working families of this country?
Ronald Reagan and his billionaire friends do not represent America, but we do.
You have to be a wealthy person to send your kid to college. So to equate socialism with communism is simply ignorance.
Bernie Sanders, it's time for change.
I will be damned if I will vote for a proposal which will stick it to the middle class. Let's not keep putting poor people into jail and disproportionately punishing blacks. The children suffer while the wealthy and the super rich ride about in their fancy limousines going out to the golf courses. The United States Congress do not represent the needs of ordinary Americans. And one of the major reasons for that is that we have an approach to campaign financing which, to a very large degree, allows wealthy people and major corporations to buy and sell politicians. The American people know that this institution, by and large, doesn't have the guts to stand up and do the right thing. The United States today is one of two nations in the industrialized world that does not have a national health care system. A few people have tremendous wealth and tremendous power and exercise that wealth and that power over all of the people. Let us give hope to people in America today who have lost hope. Let us provide jobs for the jobless, housing for the homeless, food for the hungry.
You have a deep moral obligation to make sure that not 1 cent of taxpayers' money goes to subsidize wealthy corporations who can take care of their own needs. I guess it's not interesting, Mr. Chairman. That is an outrage, that is a consumer ripoff, and it is our job as representatives of the American people to stop those ripoffs.
Your thesis is, as is usually the thesis that we hear from representatives of big business, is that we got to prop up the wealthy and the powerful, because in the long run, let me finish. In the long run, in some magical way, it's all going to come down. I find it ironic that it is the taxpayers of this country who are going to have to bail out banks that have made billions and billions of dollars. I don't know how we keep talking about a booming economy if only the people on the top are doing quite so well.
What we are dealing with right now is a ruling class in this country who in many ways act like alcoholics and drug addicts. They cannot get enough. No matter how many children live in poverty, no matter how high the unemployment numbers are, they want more and more and more. And I say enough is enough.
The revolution starts today. Women's rights. Universal healthcare. Establishment politics. Racial justice. Mainstream media. Superdelegates. Income inequality. Corrupt super PACs. Pharmaceuticals. Wall Street. Climate change. Immigration. Veterans. Can you feel it?
This is a Ceemix.
Feel the burn. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Then rise. This is a call to arms. We got a revolution going on here.
We don't need no water, let the motherfucker burn. Burn, motherfucker, burn.
If you want to get tough on crime,
This is a Ceemix.
let's deal with the causes of crime. Let's not keep putting poor people into
The
jail
revolution starts
and
today.
disproportionately punishing blacks.
Probably the only BS I'm gonna follow.
Feel the burn. is a call to arms.
Feel the burn. Feel the burn. Get 'em, Bernie. Get 'em, Bernie. Burn this beat.
The revolution starts today.
Get 'em, Ceemix.
Feel the burn.
The question, Mr. Speaker, is not whether we like Saddam Hussein or not. The question is whether he represents an imminent threat to the American people and whether a unilateral American invasion of Iraq will do more harm than good.
Feel the
I think
burn.
you just don't know what's going on in the real world. And I would urge you, come with me to Vermont, meet real people. The country clubs and the cocktail parties are not real America. The millionaires and billionaires are the exception to the rule. Walmart has replaced General Motors as the major employer in America, paying people starvation wages rather than living wages, and all of that does not matter to you. Doesn't matter. You didn't answer my question. Do you agree with the president? Do you agree with the president that it's a good idea that we lose good-paying jobs?
Governor Castle.
Can he answer the question?
Thank you. Almost time to feel the burn.
We believe that we can fight terrorism, protect the American people without undermining the basic constitutional rights which make us a free country. Let all of us remember that in the 1940s, innocent Japanese Americans, without any pretext, were herded into internment camps. In the 1960s, a president of the United States had a file on him, President Kennedy, by the FBI. In the 1960s, Martin Luther King Jr., who some of us consider to be one of the great heroes of the 20th century, was hounded and investigated by the FBI.
Anyone who doesn't believe that these oil companies have huge political influence over what goes on here in Washington are surely kidding themselves. You don't want to know why the Congress of the United States has an extremely low level of support or favorability? It is because the American people know they are getting ripped off.
Feel the burn.
People are worth $20 billion. In the case of the Koch brothers, $80 billion. If we moved in that direction and ended all limitations on campaign spending, they could write a check out for $50 million or $100 million, and it would not matter at all.
Feel the burn.
The problems we face did not come down from the heavens. They are made by bad human decisions. And good human decisions can change them. Despair, one of the problems that we have got to deal with right now, and Jim was referring to this, is all over this country. You have a lot of bright, decent, good people, and they're saying, you know what? The situation is hopeless. You can't beat the Koch brothers. You can't beat the billionaires. You can't win. I'm giving up. That is exactly what they want us to believe. And I beg of you, Do not enter that world of despair. We can win this fight if we stand together. They want more and more